Islamic finance really refers to the provision of financial services in accordance with the Islamic law, that is Sharia. Sharia prohibits interest, which is known as riba. It prohibits certain products, which we call in Sharia garal, gambling, as well as financing activities that are harmful to society. It also requires parties to honor principles of fair treatment and the purity of contracts. Transactions must be underpinned by real economic activities. So just briefly to share the difference between the two, under Islamic finance, it is based on principles of divine law, while conventional finance is based on man-made principles. When you look at Islamic finance, returns to depositors are not guaranteed, but rather profits shared on pre-agreed ratio. Whereas in conventional finance, depositors are guaranteed rate of return or interest. The other area we differ is that Islamic finance prohibits charging and the paying of interest. Whereas in conventional finance, it is involved in the business of interest based on lending and borrowing of money. Again, if you look at Islamic finance, it avoids transactions that are impermissible by Sharia, e.g. gambling and speculation. Conventional banking, they do not observe such restrictions. In Islamic finance, again, we do not finance industries that cause harm to society or have negative social consequences, such as alcohol, tobacco, pornography, etc., etc. In conventional finance, it finances all types of industries, barring only business deemed illegal by the law of the land. Again, if you go to Islamic finance, you find that if a customer fails to pay on due date, for example, for a facility or loan, customer undertakes to pay charity. This charity is credited into a charity account for further disbursement to charity organizations, which of course requires the Sharia board to approve. Whereas in the conventional finance, penalty charges are taken from customer on late payment, and they are taken as income. So they are considered as profit in convention. Again, in Sharia, the Sharia finance institutions are governed with a framework of Sharia board who approves the transactions and products in the light of Sharia rulings. Whereas in conventional finance, there is no such framework. In Sharia, products are usually asset-backed, involving trading or renting of assets. Other financing mechanisms include participation on a profit and loss basis. Whereas in conventional finance, it treats money as a commodity and lend it against interest as its compensation. I think to just add one or two more, in Sharia or Islamic finance, relationship of customer and the financial institution is of that of a seller and buyer and partner. You are in this as partners. Whereas in conventional bank financing, the relationship is of customer and financial institutions is that of creditor debtor. You know, so this, in Sharia again, compensation is always price, whereas in conventional it is always interest. That's how they are compensated. In conclusion, Islamic finance is a concept that, irrespective of one's religious convictions, has gained momentum and has been accepted around the world today. Islamic finance is defined as a way to manage money and conduct a business that fits with or within the moral principles of Islam, and is more often described as Sharia compliant. Yes, thank you, Jennifer.